What's happening right now in Cleveland could completely redefine the Browns' trajectory, and if you're not paying attention, you're missing the foundation of something massive being built in real time. We're not talking about another draft pick or another free agency splash. We're talking about the kind of shift that changes a franchise's DNA from the inside out, and it all centers around one man who refuses to let mediocrity slide. Myles Garrett just drew a line in the sand, and the entire Browns organization stepped over it with him. This isn't your typical rah-rah team speech or empty locker room platitudes. This is a generational defensive talent looking at his own offense and saying out loud what everyone in Cleveland has been thinking. And here's the twist. Instead of division and defensiveness, the team rallied. They didn't fracture. They didn't point fingers back. They locked in. That response tells you everything you need to know about where this team's head is at right now. Let's get real for a second. Myles Garrett is the kind of player franchises are built around. He's not just collecting paychecks and sacks. He's the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, a guy who lives in opposing backfields, disrupting plays before they even develop. But what separates elite players from franchise cornerstones is the willingness to demand more, not just from themselves, but from everyone wearing the same uniform. And that's exactly what Garrett did. He called out the offense, not to embarrass them, not to create drama, but because he knows what this team is capable of, and he refuses to watch that potential get wasted. Think about the guts that takes. You're a defensive player, one of the best in the game, and you're speaking truth about the other side of the ball. That's walking a tightrope. One wrong word, one perceived slight, and you've got a fractured locker room. But Garrett didn't flinch, and more importantly, the offense didn't crumble. They responded. They acknowledged the challenge. They used it as fuel. That's maturity. That's a team that's done being average and is ready to claw its way to legitimacy. Now let me paint the picture of what this actually means. For years, Cleveland has been a team with flashes. Moments of brilliance surrounded by stretches of frustration. The defense shows up, the offense stalls. The offense catches fire, the defense gets gashed. It's been this maddening cycle of inconsistency that's kept this franchise just outside the conversation of true contenders. But when your best defensive player stands up and says, "We need more from everyone," and the response is unity instead of division, that's when culture starts to solidify. That's when teams stop being good on paper and start being dangerous on the field. Garrett's message wasn't complicated. It was accountability wrapped in expectation. He's tired of watching the defense carry the load while the offense sputters. He's tired of close games slipping away because one side of the ball couldn't match the intensity of the other. And honestly, Browns fans should be thrilled that someone finally said it. Because silence and false positivity don't win championships. Honest, productive confrontation does. And when that confrontation comes from someone who backs it up every single Sunday, it hits different. The quarterback situation, the offensive line inconsistencies, the lack of a true rhythm in the passing game, these have been the elephants in the room. Garrett just pointed at them and said, "We're dealing with this now." And instead of resentment, there was respect. Instead of excuses, there was acknowledgement. That's the sign of a locker room that's bought in, that understands a window is now, and that everyone needs to elevate or get left behind. Here's what makes this moment even more significant. Myles Garrett isn't some loudmouth who talks a big game and disappears when the lights are brightest. This is a guy who consistently dominates. Double teams, chip blocks, game plans specifically designed to slow him down, none of it matters. He still finds a way to wreck the opposing offense's rhythm. He's got the respect of every offensive lineman in the league because they know on Sunday they're in for a war. So when a player of that caliber says, "We all need to be better," it's not noise. It's a call to action from someone who's already doing his part, and then some. The AFC North is brutal. Baltimore's got Lamar and a defense that's always physical. Pittsburgh's got that blue-collar identity that never quits. Cincinnati's loaded with offensive weapons. This division doesn't give you anything. You have to take it. And for Cleveland to not just compete, but dominate in this environment, they need every unit firing. They need the offense to match the defense's intensity. They need complementary football, not one side dragging the other. Garrett's tough talk is the catalyst for that balance, and the fact that the team embraced it instead of resisting it is everything. This is also about legacy. Myles Garrett is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. His tape speaks for itself. But individual accolades only satisfy for so long. He wants to win. He wants to bring Cleveland a championship. And he knows that doesn't happen unless everyone is held to the same standard. So he's not just being a great player. He's being a leader. He's taking ownership not just of his role, but of the team's collective mindset. That's rare. That's the kind of leadership that turns good teams into great ones. And let's talk about what this means for the upcoming season. The talent is there. The defense is nasty. The offense has pieces that can explode on any given play. But talent without accountability is just wasted potential. Garrett's words created a blueprint for what this team needs to be: tough, uncompromising, and unified. Every position group now knows the expectation isn't just to show up, it's to dominate. The offensive line needs to protect better. The skill players need to execute. The quarterback needs to make the throws that matter. And the defense, led by Garrett, is going to keep setting the standard. If you're a Browns fan watching this unfold, you should feel something you haven't felt in a long time: genuine belief rooted in substance. This isn't hype built on nothing. This is a foundation being poured. This is a culture being cemented. Garrett didn't just talk. He challenged. And the team didn't just listen. They committed. That's the difference between hoping for success and building toward it. The division rivals are watching this too. They see what's happening in Cleveland. They see a defense that's already elite getting even hungrier. They see an offense that's been challenged publicly and is now motivated to prove itself. They see a locker room that's unified behind a common goal. That's a dangerous combination. That's the kind of team nobody wants to face in December or January when the games matter most. So here's the reality. Cleveland is no longer a team you can overlook. They're not a cute story or a dark horse. They're a legitimate threat, and Myles Garrett's leadership is a huge reason why. His willingness to speak truth, to demand more, to refuse to accept anything less than excellence is exactly what this franchise needed. And the fact that the team responded the way they did, that's the proof that Cleveland is ready to take the next step. Before we wrap this up, if you're as fired up about this Browns season as we are, do us a favor and smash that like button. Subscribe to Browns Breakout if you haven't already, because we're bringing you the real talk, the deep dives, and the insights that matter. This is where the true fans gather, and we're building something special here, just like the Browns are building something special in Cleveland. Drop a comment and let us know. Do you think Myles Garrett's leadership is the missing piece that finally pushes Cleveland over the top? Are you confident the offense can rise to meet the challenge? We want to hear from you because your voice matters in this community. This season is shaping up to be something different for Cleveland. There's an edge to this team, a hunger that feels authentic. Myles Garrett didn't just give a speech. He set a standard. And the Browns didn't just hear it. They're living it. That's how championship teams are built, one honest conversation and one committed response at a time. Cleveland is coming, and the rest of the AFC North better be ready.